Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Welcome back to the channel, to the Hijrah Tips and Advice channel. My name is Abu Idris. I'm going to cover something very serious today that a lot of people kind of put on the back burner, and it is something that you really need to keep in mind. Most of the topics that I'm going to talk about are very, very important on this channel, because there are things that either there's some misunderstanding about it, or there are things that you should have known but you didn't know, or you didn't know that you didn't know. So let's jump right into it. If you have children, and you are no longer with the other parent, as in divorce, and those children are under the age of 14 years old, you need the consent, or you need the other parent, the non-custodial parent. You need their signature to obtain a passport for the child. If they're under 14, you need their signature because it's on the passport form. You have to have both parents' signature if they're under 14 years old. That form may have changed, but the last time I read it, it was under 14. Another thing that you have to consider is that you have to, depending on if you have a custody situation, a court-mandated custody situation, and you need permission to take the child across state lines or even out of the country, you really want to make sure that you abide by the court's decision. Why? I understand. You want to do what Allah says in the Quran. You want to save your children, your families from a fuel whose fire is men and stones. You want to save your children by getting them out of the land of shirk and disbelief. You want to save them from from being in the land of deviance and confusion and people doing the a'mal that anger Allah. I understand that. I understand because I'm a parent. I understand. You want a better life for your child. You want your child to read Quran. You want your child to be used to hearing the words of Allah, growing up in the houses of Allah, praying in the houses of Allah, seeing Muslims and knowing that there are people who look like them and talk like them the same. I understand all of that. But you're going to lose that if you remove that child illegally. And some parents, they do it out of emotion, out of whatever it is, because they don't want to leave the child behind. So they take the child anyway. There are so many laws that protect against that no matter what your reason was for doing it, in the eyes of the law, that's considered child abduction. So what's going to happen is that you snuck them out the country, right? Because here's the scenario. The parent says, why do you need the signature for a passport? This and that, whatever reason that you gave them, right? And you convince them, because the first thing in the parent's mind is, passport means you can leave the country. Why do you need a passport? Well, why do I need to sign a paper to authorize a passport? Now, whatever reason you came up with, I'm not going to give any kind of suggestions or whatever. Whatever reason you came up with that you convinced them that the child is not going to go anywhere and it's just for whatever you said it's for, and they sign it, you get the passport, and then you wait some time, and then you kind of do a sneaky peek and you leave anyway. It's not going to be too long before their parents says, hey, where's my son? Where's my daughter? Where are my children? And depending on who you're dealing with, they may say, hey, I want to report a child abduction. They got all your information. His or her name is so-and-so, so-and-so. The child's name is this. This is the photograph, the last scene. And then all of a sudden, now you're on a post office wall. Warrant for child abduction. Now you get overseas and you are settling into your new life, and you have established a job and a lifestyle. Your kids are 2, 3, 4 years old, or let's say 3, 4, 5 years later. Your children have established themselves in that life, and they're speaking Arabic and just getting along in their new country. And something happens, you have to come back. Do you know what's waiting for you when you come back? A warrant. See, the country is not going to send somebody to go and find you in another country. They're not going to send somebody from America to whatever country you went to go find those kids. That's not how they do things. Okay. But what will happen is they're going to play the wait game. And the wait game is either they're going to wait until you have a need to come back, or that passport don't last forever. That passport lasts 10 years. And if the child is under 14, I don't know if it's under 14 or under 18, but one of those. But if they are under 21, that passport, their passport, will only last 5 years. 5 years. So you got 5 years to go running around and doing whatever, and then you're going to have to renew those kids' passports, or you're going to have to renew your passport. And before you know it, you're standing at the embassy, you got embassy police standing around you, and they got an order to extradite you back to the States, and you're going to be facing child abduction charges because you took a route that was different from what you were supposed to take. Or you had a situation in which you were supposed to be in court to show up for a rather serious offense, and instead you fled the country. They call that, I think it's called illegal flight to avoid prosecution. That's a felony. You didn't just skip bail. If it's skipping bail is one thing. You jump bail, that's one thing. But you left the country. Illegal flight to avoid prosecution. But your passport ran out. So you got to get a new passport. Or you had a death in the family. You had something. So now you're making calls, and I know people like this. They had charges pending. And so they, every once in a while they call back to see, is the warrant been dropped? Is the case like this? After 6, 7, 18 years, that warrant is still there. It's still there. They wait, they playing the long game. You're just another case in the file. But when your number comes up in that system, and it will come up in the system, okay, this is where you've been, we'll just wait for you to come back. You go maybe you even slide through the passport office, with I didn't know what was going on, how come what's wrong with my passport? You're trying to pretend like you didn't know. So they'll just put a little notification in the system. You got a flag now. Okay, now we know where he is. Now we know where she is. It's just a matter of time. Somebody come knocking on your door, or, hey, come on in and pick up your passport, because people will lie. Government people, police, law enforcement, they lie, and they are allowed to lie in the execution of their office. Hey, we got your passport here. You can come pick it up tomorrow. Yo, I guess everything all right, mashallah. You're on the run, and you know you're on the run. You're on the run, and you know you're on the run. You think you slid through? As soon as you step in there to pick up that passport, they're going to confirm your identity, and then you're going to wear them bracelets coming out of there. They're going to arrest you. They're going to put you in the embassy detaining whatever room that they're going to hold you in. They're going to whisk your kids away, or, they're going to, send you back to the States on your dime. You're going to be responsible financially for the ticket that they had to buy for you. Then you got to go and face these charges. And you're not coming on the ground to go home and get a lawyer. And all, you're going from the airline, from the airport, straight to jail. You don't need that waiting for you. That's a dark, dark, dark cloud. And the problem is, you changed your life. It's been 10 years now. You changed your whole life. You're not even in that kind of situation anymore. You left that stuff way behind you now. You married a sister, y'all got kids, you got a family, you got a job, you got established on your job. They like you, you like them, the pay is good, you're able to save some money, you got your life is in progress now. You buy a house or a home or whatever, maybe even travel a few countries in between there, right? Everything is not gravy. You got that waiting on you. You got to go deal with that. You got to go deal with that. And depending on what country, you might decide, okay, I'm going to leave this country and go to that country. But as soon as you get to that country, they say, hold on, your name is who? Okay, yeah, step in here for a second. Call the authorities, man. Detain you in another country. You don't have no bags. They take your bags. They take your phone. They take all your money. They take all your identification. They take any means that you have to communicate with the outside world. So now nobody even knows where you are. Last they heard, you were going from Riyadh to Tunisia. That's the last anybody heard of you. You've been there for 6 months because those wheels over there in the Middle East, they grind slow. So you're going to sit in that cell for at least 6 to 8 months until they find out from the proper authorities exactly what to do with you, when to do it with you, and how to do it. Then you're going to come back and you're going to sit in the system, in the jail, and wait for your court date. That's another 6, 7, 8 months maybe. Then you got to find a lawyer. You still have no way to contact nobody. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I know you want to leave. I know you want to leave. I know you feel like the walls are closing in on you. I know that. I know how you feel. Believe me, I know how you feel. I know you feel like if something's going to happen, I'm going to wind up dying here. Allah don't let me die here. I don't want to die in the land of kufr and shirk. I understand. You can't get a fair shake anywhere. You can't find a job anywhere. You can't go somewhere where you can be happy. And everything about Hijrah is looking good. It's looking better and better every single day. I understand. And you just want to get out of here and just leave this stuff behind you and just start your life over again. And you making all kinds of dua to Allah. If Allah, if you give me with this, I will do that. If you bless me with this, I will do that. Please, please help me, please, this, that. Extra salawat. You're in sujood for long periods of time, 10, 15 minutes at a time, making dua. But you got stuff that you got to take care of. And if you don't take care of it, brothers and sisters, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. You might be trying to ride out. Somebody gave you some misinformation. So, there's a statute of limitations and this and that. And, the warrant can't hold up for so long. Or, well, it's been so long, they probably just even forgot about you. Everything is connected to your number, brothers and sisters. Everything's connected to your number, as in your social security number, as in your passport number. Everything's connected to a number. It's not going away. This is not on a piece of paper now. It's digitized. It's in the system. It's in the system. All you got to do is just get that one bleep. There's a flag. And the problem, wherever you drew that flag, the person whose flag it is on the screen, you're going through customs in Kenya, for example. The guy at the terminal and immigration don't know why you got the flag. He can't tell you nothing. He has no information. All he knows is he's got an order to detain you. Now you're nervous, you're asking questions, you're trying to explain the situation. He don't know. You know, because you left it there. You left it hanging. Do yourself a favor and take care of that stuff. Take care of it. If it means that you got to sit a little while longer to either wait until the child comes of age or until the mother or father give their consent and you talk to them and be nice to them, and you might have to swallow, you have to eat a little crow, swallow your pride a little bit, be a little bit humble, because you're trying to get to the objective. The objective is Hijrah. And if it means you got to be extra nice and extra sweet, you might have to do that. You might have to do that. You might have to set some conditions. Okay, look, you sign the paper, we'll do this, but we'll come back every month for the summer. I'll drop them off in the summertime, and then I'll go back, or I'll sit here for the summer, visit my family, whatever. He get 2 months with you, or even 3 months. Or you may say, hey, he does a school year with you, half the school year with you, and then he does the other half in the summer with me. However you work it out, man. 1 year over here, 1 year over there, 1 year over here. And eventually, what's going to happen is that the child is going to reach an age when he's going to decide who he prefers or she prefers to be with. And then you let Allah handle it from there. These court cases and all these charges pending, do what you got to do. If it's a situation of restitution, then your first order of business is saving up money so that you can pay off the restitution and the fines and the fees and the lawyer costs. You can't even buy a ticket yet. But this is all part of the process. See, this is still part of the Hijrah process. Allah says, whoever fears Allah, he will make a way out for him or her, and provide them from sources that they could not imagine. Take care of these things before you go, because they're waiting on you when you return, and you don't want to come back to that. It's a real downer. It really is a downer. And you're going to wind up spending all the money you have trying to keep yourself out of prison, trying to keep yourself out of jail. And then what happens from there, now that they got you, they're going to take your passport from you. So even if you were able to get away, you wiggled yourself out of jail or bond or whatever, your passport's done. Your passport is done, and you can't get another one because all of your numbers are connected. So they have a history of all the passport numbers that you've had. And you can't lie on the document because they ask you, have you ever had a passport number before? That's a federal document. It's a class 4 felony. It's forgery of a public document. That's forgery of a public document. You lied and said, no, I never had a passport before. And then when they put your social security number in the system, it flags up. Yes, you did. You had this number here. Now you lied. And it's up to them at that point. They can call the authorities or they can just deny your passport. But you're not getting another passport until you finish that situation. It's not worth it in the end, brothers and sisters. It's not worth it. Finish what you got to finish. Don't worry. If Allah wrote that you were going to leave that land and go to the land where the believers are, you're going. Trust me, you're going. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop you from what Allah has written for you. If Allah wrote it for you, nobody in the creation can change it. No matter what they say, no matter what they try, no matter what they plan, no matter what they scheme. You might just get there a little bit later. But whoever fears Allah, Allah will make a way out for him. Allah will make for him a makhraj, an exit, a way out. Meet this thing head on and take care of it so that when you go, it's a clean break. It's a clean break. You've got nothing left behind you, no luggage behind you, no weight, no anchor behind you. Everything is taken care of. It's done. It's off your neck now. It's off your chest. It's off your shoulders. It's done. It's done. And every time that you think back on how this situation is finished and you just went on and just dealt with it, it'll make you settle inside. It grants you sakina. It grants you tranquility inside, but you don't have it on your head now. Make sure you take care of these things before you go. Anything that's serious, make sure you take care of it before you go. Anything involving the legal system, make sure you take care of it before you go. If you don't get permission from the other parent, don't go. I know you're a man. These your kids. You got a right to do them whatever you want. I know you're a woman. You birthed these kids 9 months in your womb, and you stayed up endless nights taking care of them, and you were there when he was gone. He ain't never been around. Blah, blah, blah. But if you don't do it the right way, it all goes for nothing. Because you know they're gonna take your kids and start putting them in homes and start splitting them up. Now you don't know where they are, who they with, and nobody's gonna tell you anything. So now you not only jamming yourself up, now you got your kids jammed up. Your daughter, Fatima now, who's wearing hijab now, she can't wear that now because she's going in the foster home. They're going to tell her take that off. When she go to school, they're going to say, you can't wear that in here. There are people who are vindictive like that. Oh, you Muslim. Okay, we're going to fix that. There are people like that. Don't worry about that. He ain't going to be Muslim in here. I ain't got no Muslims in here. He ain't going to be no Muslim in here. Take the thing off your head. What is it? A little cap? Take a little white cap off your head, boy. What's wrong with you? What you mean you don't eat no pork? No, you eat what's in this house. We ain't got no menu here. So you eat whatever we make or you go home. What you doing in there? Why your room door closed so long? I saw you all over the floor. What you doing in there? Hey, ain't nobody praying in here. We ain't got no Muslims in here. This is how they do your kids when they know there's nobody around to protect them. Because their protector made a bad decision, got themselves locked up, and got the kids separated. Please make sure you take care of all of your legal situations before you leave. Even if that delays your trip, make sure you take care of it before you go. If it delays it a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Some people are on paper. We call that, we say on paper, meaning he's on probation or he's on parole. And according to certain conditions, you can't leave the state or you can't leave the country without permission or without notifying your parole officer. If you have that kind of parole, if you have that supervised parole or semi-supervised or whatever it is, whatever the conditions are. So you wind up applying for a passport, you were, whoa, they gave me a passport. All right, you go buy a ticket and you manage to slide out. You didn't tell nobody. You're in violation now. It's just a matter of time. Nobody's gonna chase you around. The probation officer don't care nothing about you. They're gonna mark you in violation, and that's gonna be it. He ain't gonna chase you. He got other people. He got other cases, other parolees he got to deal with. Nobody gonna come looking for you. They're not gonna come looking for you. They're gonna wait until your 10-year passport is up. And when you come back, you're going to jail. You're going back to prison. You're going back to prison. Please take care of the things that you have to take care of legally before you go. That includes taxes as well. If you owe a large amount, I mean like large, like you owe over $40,000, $50,000 in taxes, that can block your passport. If you owe over $50,000 in child support, that can block your passport. Make sure you take care of that stuff. Set up a payment plan or something like that and honor it. Make sure that you are sending your payments in. You have to set up an automatic bank draft from your account, right? So you found you a job in Hijrah. You found you a job. It's a good paying job, okay? According to the agreement or the conditions of your child support enforcement, in order for you to leave, they say, okay, we'll take a payment plan. You owe 50 grand. We want $800 a month. All right, cool. But your payment plan is only honored if you stick with the payment plan. So you tell your new owner, your new boss rather, listen, I need you to transfer this amount to this account, and then the rest you can put in my account here. People do it all the time. People do it all the time. And as long as the pay is there and it's going through, you're perfectly okay. It's okay. It's being taken care of. Okay, until it's not. Please make sure you take care of your legal situations before you go. So that's it, you guys. This is a very serious topic because your whole world can just crash. Imagine living in Dar es Salaam for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. And you come back and there's a case on you, that you were supposed to take care of that's waiting on you when you get back. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. So take care of your things that you're supposed to take care of before you go, inshallah. If you got any benefit from this video, I know it's kind of a morbid kind of subject, but if you learn some things, if you got some advice from this, as Rasulullah sallallahu he said, Dinul Nasiha, that religion is giving advice. The name of the channel is called Hijrah Tips and Advice. So if I advised you and you got benefit from that advice, because maybe you were thinking about doing something else, maybe you were thinking about doing the things I just mentioned, and now maybe I was able to kind of pull your coattail, as we say. If that benefited you, like the channel, share the video, subscribe, and hit the notification button so you can get more advice when we post new videos. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.